Hey, thank you for joining us again on the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate podcast. We had to split the last episode up under the Tucson Sun, so this is the continuation of that one. We're first starting with food, which is, again, my favorite topic here in Southern Arizona, and we'll be covering sports, events, and destinations within Southern Arizona, so stick around.
Now, my favorite part is the food.
Food.
Yeah.
Food is like an hour podcast alone here, but we're going to touch on some of the cooler points of the food here in Tucson.
Yeah.
So first things first,
Yep.
we are Tucson City of Gastronomy. For those of you who don't know what that title means, UNESCO, or the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, named Tucson a City of Gastronomy.
Out of the world.
Out of the world.
Tucson.
We are the first city in the States, so the first city in the nation, to have that title.
Yeah.
There are only two of us. It's us and I believe San Antonio.
Yeah.
And there are only 49 worldwide. So we are one of 50 and two in the nation.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing for a small town.
Yeah.
Who, when you think Tucson, you think Mexican food.
Right. Right.
And so we're famous for our Sonoran-style Mexican food because in the 1940s, there was a street food that came in from Mexico, Sonora specifically, called the Sonoran Hot Dog. The most amazing bacon-wrapped hot dog topped with stuff you would normally see as a side.
Yeah. Thank you, El Güero Canelo, for basically popping my cherry in that. If that's appropriate to say.
The sweetest, softest, like, non-hot dog bun ever.
Yeah.
Like, the buns make it, like, perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But that is one of the things we are famous for.
Yeah.
And the other one, which is a little known fact,
Yeah.
is the chimichanga.
I love chimichangas.
They were
Enlighten me.
invented. They were invented in Tucson.
That was wild when you told me that. That kind of blew my mind.
I was like, I've been sharing this fact with everybody since I found out. So the chimichanga was created in Tucson
Yep.
by Monica Flynn. So in 1920, she has this restaurant or this family restaurants here called El Charro, and they were making burritos, and she accidentally dropped one in a deep fryer.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out El Charro, one of the best Mexican restaurants here.
Super tasty. Go
Oh
visit.
my gosh, so good. So she apparently was going to curse
While making
Spanish,
the burrito, right?
Well, when she dropped it in, you know,
Okay.
when you do something, you're like, So she almost said a word, a Spanish word that starts with ch, and she ended up saying chimichanga, which apparently loosely translates to thingamajig. That is kind of how that came, and it was like, really?
That's wild.
A mistake. A mistake creates one of the most popular Americanized, I gotta say Americanized,
Yeah.
Mexican dishes is
Yeah.
the chimichanga until you make it enchilada style and just smother it in everything.
Yeah. It's dinner time. Let's.
Yeah, I was like,
let's
we're
do this.
starving.
Yeah.
And then that's just really the tip of the iceberg with what we have in regards to a wide variety of our gastronomical excellence here. We are just lucky as can be to have everything from super Americanized food to the most unique foods in the world here.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think about like high-end New York restaurants. We don't really have that here, you know, where it comes in small portions. We have basically all these different cultures that have created this atmosphere here for all sorts of different types of food.
They just chose Tucson to live because Tucson is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were like, oh, I would like to share my culture with this city. And the city didn't go, I don't know that culture. I don't want it. They embraced everybody else's
said,
culture. And we
show
said,
us your food.
If you want to feed us, we will eat.
Yes, exactly.
So-
Okay, so we're going to go into my next favorite after food.
Yeah.
And that's sports and the events that we do have here.
Oh
Because
my gosh.
it's a huge range of stuff we have going on.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first, Tucson, home of the University of Arizona. Go
Bear-
Wildcats,
bear
bear
down.
down.
Bear down.
And we have the college sports events and then the university run events that happen, like the book fairs and the art shows, and they have
Tucson Meet Yourself is cool.
Tucson
The
Meet
Festival
Yourself.
of Books is
Festival of
growing
Books.
like crazy.
We have the astronomy that you can do here, the
Yep.
Museum of Art you can do here. We have Broadway in Tucson, which is based out of the university.
Yeah. Arizona State Museum is there. We actually do have a really good art museum there. And we have the largest collection of Ansel Adams photographs at the Center of Creative Photography. Highly recommend going and visiting that. It's pretty great. We have actually Linda McCartney, a show for Linda McCartney, who actually was born here, and Paul McCartney still owns a house here.
Nice.
So, yeah, just a little side note. But kind of
Little trivia question here.
Yeah, exactly.
The other things we have for sports. So we have the university. So you're going to have all of your college sports, which gives you natural sports that are going to be able to be gone and seen, your football, baseball, basketball,
The staples.
the staples.
Yeah. Yep.
Then you have some of our ancillary professional or semi-professional teams. We're not going to dig into the ones that are no longer here. We'll dig into those at another podcast.
Yeah.
But
Rest in peace, Toros.
and Padres.
And Padres, yeah.
But we do have the Tucson Roadrunners, which is the professional AHL hockey team that performs. Performs is not the word I was looking for.
Plays.
That plays at the TCC. The other team that plays at the TCC are our Tucson Sugar Skulls, which is our indoor football team. We also have Tucson Football Club, or FC Tucson, which is the men's soccer club. It's USL League 2. We do have a women's team with that. But the biggest news, which I'm super excited about just because I love soccer, and I'm a U.S. women's national team all day long, is they just announced on June 2nd that Tucson is going to be one of the cities they're chosen for the new 8 cities for the new USL Super League Professional Women's Soccer.
That's pretty awesome.
So we will now have, starting in August of 2024, a professional women's soccer team out of Tucson.
That is crazy. I grew up here, and I didn't really understand how much support we have for soccer here. I didn't really appreciate that until in more of my adult life. I'm like, wow, we had the Fort Lowell Soccer Shootout, it used to be called, and I think they moved from Fort Lowell Park, which is like an old fort. Literally, there's adobe walls that are there, and then they moved it, I think, down to...
It's down at the Keno Park South because they are expanding Keno Park.
For that, right?
Yes and no, but yes, that's what it was created for, so they can move it there, and it's the Tucson Realtors. Our Realtor Association actually is one of the major sponsors for it now.
Very cool.
I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But it's the kids tournament that they have, and I play on those fields as an adult soccer player here, and they're gorgeous fields. But they are going to be expanding and bringing quite a bit, and we'll dig into that more because that's some of the newest stuff that's coming down to Keno Sports Complex and bringing more stuff, more things here to Tucson.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then we did touch on the major PGA golf tournaments, Cologuard Classic, Waste Management Open. We also have other really big events that bring people into Tucson in general.
Right.
The biggest one, the massive one, is the Tucson Gem, Mineral, and Fossil Show that happens every single year and is here for 3 months, I believe.
It's a long time.
And it brings all these different gem and mineralogists here to sell what they have essentially gone and found throughout the year.
You'd have to go to a museum to see a lot of the stuff that they have at the Gem and Mineral Show. There's incredible specimens that will just knock your socks off, and it's free to the public. You can literally go there, and there's multiple sites. It kind of takes over Tucson, and you can drive around, spend the entire time that it's here and not see everything. That's how big it is.
Yeah.
And I know Las Vegas has been trying to steal it from us because it's such a big event. So, but it started here, and it's grown that much.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, we want to interrupt this episode to let you know that we are a Keller Williams Southern Arizona franchise.
We are also realtors practicing equal housing. Now let's get you back to the podcast. It's pretty incredible.
Absolutely. The other big thing that we have is the Thunder and Lightning over Arizona, which is the air show that DM, Davis Monthan Air Force Base, puts on every single year. And I believe it's like every other year, every 3 years, we get the Thunderbirds, which is always fun because everywhere you live here in Tucson is a flyover zone. You hear planes all day long. And so when the Thunder and Lightning was here this year, I'd hear the planes going and you'd walk outside to see them flying over your house. It's something you don't see everywhere.
Yeah.
And we get it. It doesn't matter where you're at in Tucson, you get to see planes flying every single day.
Yeah, it's something that you kind of grow accustomed to. I think maybe people from out of town who are trying to live in the city, they're like, what is all this air traffic? But we're kind of used to it by now. And we have the airport disclosure as well within our form. So when people do buy a house,
like you know you're going to get noise. It
Yeah.
really lasts for like 30 seconds, maybe 50 at the most.
Yeah.
If it's a big one.
right, yeah.
It's one of those low flyovers.
The C-130s, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We also have, I'm going to try not to butcher this. I don't speak Spanish. I speak white girl Spanish for sure. La Fiesta de los Vaqueros, which is our Tucson rodeo,
Yep.
our bull riding that we have every single year, which is also really fun to go to and last a few weekends.
Yeah, definitely cool.
We did mention the Tucson Festival books, but we also have the 4th Avenue Street Fair.
Yeah, and that's seasonal. That comes around every season, and that's fun to see. Lots of different vendors both in and out of state. It is primarily local, but it has grown quite a bit over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Country Thunder. So we talk about all the different music festivals they have all over the world, and you'd expect some of the music festivals to be in the big music cities.
Yep.
But we have Country Thunder every single year, and it is in the middle of nowhere, Florence,
Yep.
that everyone goes to.
Yep. Come back dusty and dirty, and just like you should.
A little hungover most of the
For
time.
country music, yeah, exactly.
And then we also have Cyclovia and Tour de Tucson.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of people who've trained one Tour de Tucson go on to some really magical things.
Yeah, and that's a really big circuit for bicyclists here, and we are a very bicycle friendly place here, and even the river walk, which I talked about earlier, is a huge loop around Tucson, and it's a great place for people to train for long distance bicycling.
Yep.
So, yeah, and so the next thing, experiences. Elaborate to me on why I should be interested on Tucson experiences,
So,
other than what we just all went over.
yeah, so the biggest thing is I can't cover it all here. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
So I'm going to touch some of the essentially it's how do you get out of Tucson without, you know, when you have to go on vacation, you're like, I got to go on vacation. I got to go somewhere, and I don't
Yeah.
want to do a staycation. If staycation,
Empty your brain.
you know, you're going to do a staycation. You don't want to go to the hotel up the street. That's not really a staycation. In most places, when you go on vacation, you want to go somewhere.
Yep.
When we have so many places that are within a couple hours, no more, like even something that's, 4 hours away, that's still a vacation to some people.
Yeah.
And being able to experience some of the rich history of Arizona and just life in general. So let's start with my favorite one, which is Sonoran.
Yep.
You think wine. And when you think wine, first place you don't think of is Sonoran.
Yeah.
You think Napa,
Sonoma.
mostly Cali.
Yeah.
And Sonoran actually has some of the best wineries in the state. They don't just have wineries, but they have breweries and distilleries.
Microbreweries has exploded here.
Yeah,
It's
we
crazy.
have so many microbreweries. And so you're not even talking just Sonoran. We can talk a little bit more about just the breweries themselves. We have so many we have a whiskey distillery here in Tucson. So the fact that we have all of this micro brewing, distilling, wineries that you would see in a big giant city.
Right.
We have right here in little old Tucson.
Yep.
And then you have places like Tombstone in Bisbee. Tombstone is they quite literally made an entire street a old West town.
Yeah, you can relive how people did back in the days of Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and all these major sort of characters that you see in the movies.
The train, the saloon,
Yeah.
ghost tours.
Yeah.
But you
Super
literally are without paying a ticket price.
Yep.
You are transported back to the old Wild West. We also have Old Tucson Studios that does that as well as they're rebuilding that. You can't really go to that right now, but you also have that piece of it. So we have a lot of that old Western history is very popular here too. Again, we'll dig into that a little bit more.
Yep.
Bisbee, the most haunted town in the States.
Yep. It was the largest city in between New York and San Francisco during the growth of our nation. Basically, it was the largest city, and it is modeled kind of after San Francisco. So it's definitely a place to go check out.
Oh yeah, and it's a thriving art and music scene.
Yep.
And again, ghosts.
Yeah.
So if you like those ghost tours and that's your thing,
Yeah.
go stay in Bisbee just for a few nights.
Yeah, you go brewery tour and then ghost tour, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also talk about Mount Lemon a little bit, where you can ski, but in the warmer, you can go fishing, you can go hiking, you can go camping.
Yep.
You can still go up to the ski lodge and go up to the top and see all that stuff. You can also do astronomy night.
The U of A has that astronomy tower up there.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then again, snowboard, sledding, all that kind of stuff in the winter months. I know they'll shut down Mount Lemon,
Yep.
then they'll open it back up. They'll let a certain amount of people up, and then you got to wait for people to come back down. It like lines up and down Catalina Highway.
There's really only one way up and down. There is a back way, but man, is it rough.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to have four-wheel drive for it. But the main highway up, a lot of people, like on the weekends, it's like Mount Lemon is closed, and you're like, how is a mountain closed? What do you mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's that many people trying to escape some of the summer heat, or just go up for the weekend fishing or camping.
Yeah.
And they're like, you got to turn around. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. And, we'll talk more about the other experiences that you can have all over southern Arizona and like what is literally within a 4-hour or less drive.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a fantastic place. And who would think that you'd be up in the Aspen only an hour away from Tucson? Mm-hmm. It's kind of weird to think about. People probably are picturing tumbleweeds blowing by. That doesn't really happen here. Maybe occasionally.
Depends on where you're at.
Are you taking care of your weeds? That's mainly.
well, I mean, if you go out towards Old Tucson Studios, you can occasionally run into like 1 or 2 out by Picture Rocks.
That's true. That is true. So anyway, I know that was a big one to digest. It was really great talking with you and going over all of this stuff. And if you guys have any questions on this, please feel free to reach out to us. We're here to answer any of your local questions. We are really well versed on this stuff. We're not just saying that we are. We definitely are.
Yeah.
So ask us questions, right?
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. And if there's something you want to know about Tucson, let us know so we can make sure we're making a podcast about what you guys want to learn about for Tucson.
Yeah, definitely. Our info is down in the description, so reach out to us there. podcast@thetjkteam.com is how you can reach us. And feel free to follow our podcast if you liked it. We hope you do. We're trying to deliver you some great content with it and some knowledge, too, along with it. So we hope to see you on the next one. And again, thanks, Heather.
Absolutely.
See you next time. Thank you for listening and watching the Nitty Gritty of Real Estate podcast here with the Tom J. Krieger team of Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. If you are interested in buying a home, selling a home, or even investing in real estate, we have 5,000 agents across the country that we can connect you to. If you need any free resources, feel free to check out our website at www.thetjkteam.com. We hope you have a great day.